Okay. All right. Welcome everyone to our weekly group catch up. It's actually really cool to see a lot of you guys on here, which is so cool. All right. So we have Lolo. She, as you guys know, she promoted to director, which is two or three levels down from the highest level in Sensi. And she did that on Tuesday. Lola, when did you promote up? I feel like it was Monday.
Saturday.
Saturday. I knew that. Okay, so she promoted up on Saturday. Every day seems the same while we're in isolation. But I'm going to hand it over to her. She is going to share what it took for her to become a director, and she's going to share it all with you guys. So, Lola, the space is yours.
Okay. Hi everybody. For those of you that don't know me, on Facebook my name's written as Lolo, but my name is Lolo. My upline is actually Baba, who's now was promoted star director on Saturday as well. But to start my journey first, I actually was a couch potato before I joined Sensi. I had lost my daughter, who I had at 5 months previous to joining Sensi. I lived in Sydney, and I came up from Sydney for my mum's unveiling. And upon coming up for my mum's unveiling, I went into labor and I had to go to hospital. And at 5 months pregnant, I gave birth to my baby girl. And then from then on, I was stuck in Brisbane. My husband and I were going back and forth to Sydney to try and bring our stuff up. By then, my heart was stuck in Brisbane because I had lost my daughter here in Brisbane. A while later, I was on Instagram, and Baba is one of the follower of my husband's tattooing page, and another reason why my team is called Team Tatau. My husband is from the long line of the Suluape family. They're the traditional Samoan tattooing family. So we named our team Team Tatau, which is the Tatau is the Samoan word for tattooing. So we named it, and also in the Samoan language, it's called Tatau, which is also can be referred to as a must. So we looked at it as it's Tatau, it's a must to have Sensi. So from Sydney, coming up, losing my daughter, I became a couch potato. I posted on Facebook, on Instagram, that I was really sad about losing my mum. And at this time, believe it or not, I didn't even know Baba. And Baba came on my husband's page and said to me, look, you don't know me, but just know that I know your pain because I lost my mum too. So then on, I added Baba on Facebook, and I just kept following her. And to be quite honest, I was like, gosh, this girl's annoying with her Sensi shares. She just kept loading and loading Sensi. I'd never tried Sensi before, and I was like, one day she actually got me. She shared something on the cleaning product. And then I wrote to her and I said, oh, hi, Baba, do you have any good cleaning products? And she said to me, yeah, what sort of cleaning products do you like? I said to her, I really like, eucalyptus. And she said to me, oh, everyone likes eucalyptus, but wait till you try the rest of Sensi. By then, Baba put up this package for me, and then I looked at it and the cost of it, and I said, hey, Baba, if I was to join and just buy for my family, how would it be? And she goes, oh, yeah, you could if you want to. Baba didn't pursue it at the time because I was just questioning her about product. Believe it or not, within the next 2 hours, Baba wrote to me and goes, oh my gosh, you're my teamie. I just literally went and signed on to Baba's page. And truth be told, the only reason why I got into Sensi and the smell of it was, the only thing that I remember most about the loss of my daughter was her scent. And all of you guys know too, you can never forget a fragrance. you can go somewhere and the one thing you remember about your surroundings is what you smell. So then I signed up with Bubba on May 31st. And then I remember I got Shooting Star, and I tell you, Bubba is that onto it sort of sponsor where she's onto you. She was like, "Oh, sis, you're on day 5 of your Shooting Star. How you going?" And so I was like, "Oh, I'm going all right. I finally got a customer." My first customer was my dad, and he bought $61 worth of cleaning products from me. So I was really excited. I posted it onto my page, and I got mocked off people. They were laughing at me. They're like, "Why would you load that your dad was your first customer?" But Bubba said at the time, this is your business. So me looking at it, I was like, I'm treating it like my own real business. So I went on my Facebook and my pages and I was loading, this is my first customer. And I made my dad stand there with his product and hold it up. Through that one image of my dad, I got other customers and they started to join. And then that's when my siblings who were teasing me, they started asking questions about Scentsy as well. They ended up jumping on the bandwagon with me and then started buying. Eventually, day 13, Bubba was like, "Oh, Lolo, you got 2 more days to hit that shooting star." And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get it. Yes, on the 15th day, I actually got my orders in and I hit shooting star. That mission was accomplished. And then she said to me, "Okay, now that we've worked it here, we're going to go to get certified." And I said, "Okay." And she goes, "It's up to you. Go at your own pace." But I was like a goal setter. I finally got out of the house. I was off the couch. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to finish it. I hit certified. By the time I hit certified, it became like an adrenaline rush to me. And I thought, man, I'm actually really good at this. Upon that, the next month was July. And I've still got it here. And I was like, oh, I wonder how I'm going to go in July. July came and that month wasn't really good. I remember 700 and something. And at the time, because Bubble was such a good sponsor, I felt like, honestly, like I let her down, only hitting 700. Still at that point, she said to me, "Oh, you know what, Lolo, that is absolutely great. That's awesome." And I said, "Are you sure it's only 700? She goes, "Man, that's good. It's even hard to hit 500. July went into August, and I'll never forget August. That was the month Bubba was coming back from Alice Springs, and we were going to SFR. So I finally got to go to SFR, first time attendee at SFR in the Gold Coast, and Bubba and I went down. And oh my gosh, it was breathtaking. I couldn't believe how many people in Australia was into Scentsy, because in my mind at that time I thought, oh, I don't know many people that know of Scentsy. You go down there and there's just this Scentsy spirit about people down at Scentsy. And I said to Bubba, and she'll even know too, I tapped Bubba and I said to Bubba, "Hey Bubba, that's that superstar director lady, hey, that's Cindy Young." This is how funny it was. And she was like, "Yeah, it is Cindy Young." And I remember everywhere, with that no word of lie, everywhere Cindy Young was walking that day, if she walked past me, I was eyeing her to see what she was doing because I was amazed at her work. And then I was looking around and like, you go to SFR, guys, you'll see that on your tags that they give you that I got here, they'll have stuff hanging. It will tell you whether you get shooting star, blah, 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 if you're a director. And I remember I looked at Cindy's tag and I was like, man, look at everything she's got. By then I was just looking around and me and Bubba were like, wow, look at these people. Did you see her? Did you see her achievement? Because Bubba and I at the time were first time attendees. And I'll never forget the night where we got there. And that was the night where people do the mad walk on the stage. And Bubba was the one sitting next to me at SFR. And we saw Cindy Young get up and her husband. And Bubba and I at the time were looking at each other. But by then at the SFR, Bubba was only a superstar consultant, and me rocking in there, I was only this little certified consultant at the time. And I said to Bubba and I said that night when we walked back, we were like, you know what? We're going to make a pact. And she goes, oh, what is that? I said, the next time we come to this SFR, we're going to walk on that stage. And from that day onwards, Bubba and I were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these people got to walk the stage. So what I call SFR for my journey as a Scentsy consultant was I called it my vision. That's where my vision started to do Sensei, and where Baba and I planted the seed that next time we come to SFR, that we'll be walking this stage. And believe it or not, the day that I hit director, quite honestly, I was excited for myself, but inside my head, I was like, man, I'm going to walk that stage. Like, it was more tears of happiness that I thought, yeah, man, I'm walking the stage at the next SFR. And it was really touching for me. I didn't care about anything else. It was more the fact that I have hit the goal that I was going to hit, and that was to walk the stage at SFR. My number two thing with my journey, and I always say to my team as well, I say to them, you know, when you hustle in Sensi, when you buy and sell on your team, have what you call your ride or die. With my journey, my ride or die partner was Melissa. So Melissa and I, we were Bubba's frontline. I call that a ride or die buddy. Always have someone as a ride or die with you that will make you accountable for your goals. So her and I would always, every time end of the month, oh, how'd you go? How much PRV did you hit? So her and I would always make each other accountable. And then, believe it or not, me and Melissa were so bloody good at being ride or die buddies. I hit director on the Saturday. Melissa hit director on the Monday. We're both Bubba's front line, and that's how I'm telling you, if you're going to work this business, you need a front line and a ride or die buddy that's going to ride or die with you. Not someone that's going to hate on you and say to you, no, you're not going to make it. No, someone that says to you, oh, come on, don't be like that. There were even times, like, quite honestly, in the Sensi journey, you're so caught up in the buzz, you're like, oh, did you see how much that chick got on GVT page? Look at her PRV. You know, the good thing about having a ride or die buddy, you're making each other accountable for your goals, and you're setting each other's goals for yourself. You're not out there to please anyone, but for each other. And that's why I'm so blessed that I had the best ride or die buddy to this day, and that was Melissa. And when we hit that, when Melissa hit director, we both cried our head off. And the fact that we're like, man, we did this. We did it ourselves. And we rang Bubba, and Bubba's on the phone, and we just cried. We had on the Zoom call, and she was probably thinking we're going nuts. But we cried because we were happy that we made each other accountable for our goals. So I always say to plant your vision first, and then have your ride or die buddy. And then number two, with recruiting. I'll tell you a story. When I started off in Sensi, I thought, how the hell am I going to recruit anyone? I just lost my daughter. I don't freaking know who I want to talk to, because I'm the sort of person, I hate people feeling sorry for me. And I didn't want to go out because I know people, sorry, Lolo, to hear about your daughter. No, I didn't want to hear that. So I remember one time, Leilani, who just hit 500 PRV today, she was my first teenie, and she's used to sell Kangen water. And I wrote to her, and she said to me, oh, what's that you're selling? I said, oh, it's Sensi, you know, fragrance sells for itself. Just had little chats with Lani, and then at the time I thought, boom, I planted the seed with her. So I worked on that seed that I planted with Lani. I followed up, and I just wrote to her. I said, oh, what do you think about what we talked about? 2 days later, Lani wrote back to me, and then she joined my team. She became my first teamie. And I remember I was so excited. I wrote to Mel, and I said, oh, Melissa, I got my first teamie. Melissa was so excited for me. She's like, oh, I'm just being patient with mine. So it was about recruiting and just sharing your story with everyone. After recruiting and that, to be quite honest with you, in the Sensi world, there is a time with Sensi that you do kind of backtrack, where you feel like you're failing in your business, but you just got to keep trying. And all of yous would know, and I swear, people won't be honest with this, what I'm going to talk about, but it's the reality. Like, I started to look at the triangle. My advice, if you're going to get successful to director, do not look at the upline triangle. If you're thinking in your mind, like, why are you working to make the people higher above you more money, you're not going to make it in the Scentsy business, because the plain fact is you need to keep in your mind that this is your business. A lot of people that I knew that started falling out of Scentsy, I said to them, why are you leaving Scentsy? And they were like, oh, why should we work if our upline get paid? You know, take out that mentality. And to be quite honest, as a Samoan, you find that with a lot of our people, they worry too much of how much the high rollers are getting up top, that they don't worry at where they're at in their form at the time. So that was the only time I kind of sort of tried to backtrack. But then my ride or die buddy had me on board. She was like, don't give up. Think of the incentive. Okay. I was able to hit the incentive. And in saying that, it's all God. I hit the incentive while I was on a family holiday over in America. And I was so excited. Here in Australia, there was a sale at the time. And I remember it was like 2 in the morning over there. And it was like 5 here when it went live. And I honestly, I think I hunted down my whole family. And I said to them, please, please, please jump onto my page, see what's on sale and buy. At the time, they didn't know. I just needed those little PRV to get over to get my incentive. I was blessed and I ended up hitting the incentive. So God was good, and good things. Yeah, God was good, and I ended up hitting my target of making the incentive. And another thing with my Scentsy journey is, as soon as someone asks me a question about Scentsy, I'm that sort of person is, if that seed is planted with someone, I pursue it straight away. A fresh example, I went to the post office to post off one of my packages one time, and the lady at the post office said to me, oh, Lolo, what's this? And I said to her, oh, this is Scentsy. And she goes, yeah, I know it's Scentsy. A lot of girls come and send it to you. And she said, do you have pet products? And I said to her, I sure do have pet products. Yet did she know I didn't even have pet products. I only had the pet products that I got from the SFR. So I quickly drove down to the overflow. I got, sample bottles. I quickly filled it up. I bought bags and I went straight back to the post office. And I said to the post office ladies, see, I told you I could look after you today. I brought you some pet product. She ended up trying that sample. That lady is on my group page. She is like my number one customer. And they're the ladies at the post office. And I'm thinking the amount of Scentsy ladies that went through and asked her that question, or she said she would ask them what about, is they planted the seed, but yet I was the one to be there to water it. So my advice to people is, if you plant that seed with someone about Scentsy, water that plant. Because if you're not going to water it, you ain't going to get that customer. I was that much into pursuing it. The ladies at the post office from me now, they probably do like a $800 to $600 buy from me now. And it's amazing because I know a lot of the girls, they go there to send off their stuff. Another thing that helped me with my Scentsy journey was parties, and I had to learn that the hard way. I thought mystery boxes and that would help me, but no. I ended up finding out that Scentsy was like a party business, and I just kept sharing. I would go to places and I would share my story, and then when someone would say, oh, what do you say? I'll say, oh, look, I can come over and do a party for you and your friends. I do a game of bingo. So I went to the BSG down over in Northside and I bought bingo sheet. So what I do is I go with any product that I get from my host credit, and then I go to the party, and usually sometimes I've had 70-year-old ladies, 60-year-old ladies, but I make it fun. I take dabbers, I take bingo papers, and I do a party for them. I just do a normal 1-line, 2-line full house. It didn't matter. And then I would do a party. By then, they're intrigued by the product that I've given them, and then they want to do an order upon my pamphlets. So I ended up doing that with them. But then I do what I call is a follow-up messenger. So while they're making the order off me, I sit there and I say to them, oh, look, I do this thing on my messenger and I just call it the top-up messenger. So for each party, I just ask the person, can I add you onto this messenger? And I will just call it, so whoever's hosting the party, say her name's Mary, I'll name my messenger group Mary's Top-Up Party. And I say to these ladies, if you ever need top-ups from what product you bought from me today, just write it into this messenger. And if I have orders for that week, I will put it onto my and I'll put it onto my order for that week. And that's another way that I've learned. So on my feed at the moment on my phone, I have four chats on there for 4 parties that are still going to this day, and we call that the top up chat. So some days or some months where I won't have any orders of big parties, these people from my top up chats are the ones that I get party orders from. So they'll say, oh, Lolo, can I get 3 wax? Oh, I think I need another warmer. During that time when they say to me that they need another warmer, boom, I add in the next warmer that has come in. And I say to them, look, I've got this warmer. It's a sparkle warmer. Oh, it's so glamorous. Look at it. And then I relate to the power saving thing that Jeannie Timotel loaded, and I explained to them how you can save power, because the thing with me and what I've learned with my Sensi journey is I make it to the customer that Sensi is a necessity that they need. And it's so funny. Some ladies call me, they don't know my name, but they'll say, oh, Sensi lady, can you come and bring me blah, blah, blah. So that's another way that I make up customers, is mainly from my top up chat. And another thing and how my team building went is, you ask anyone from my team, when I had 1 member of the team, 2 members of my team, my meeting still goes ahead. So 4 p.m. every Sunday, I do a meeting for my team. Some days I'll have 1 person, some days I'll have 2, some days I'll have all 10 of them at the time, and they come. And I think as well, before the ISO, we all get together, we chat about our goals. And I said it with my team, and then I always look on the statistics with my team, and I say to each of them, oh, you might be able to hit this month, you might be able to hit this month. And we talk about each other's goals, and then they say to me, oh, I want to hit this, Lulu. So then we all push each other. I not only work on my front line, a lot of my team know, you can ask them, I do one-on-ones. So a lot of my front line that go and recruit people, if they need help, I'm that sort of sponsor. I drive over and I help their downline too. And I have one-on-ones with them. I give them my time, because I believe that a portion of your time is the greatest gift you can give someone. So a lot of the downline I help as well. As soon as any of my downline have got someone that they've signed up, straight away, boom, I'm on Facebook and I'm adding that person. And I say to them, oh, look, hi, I'm Lolo. I'm blah, blah, blah's, sponsor. I'm here if you need anything. And then I just share with them stuff. I'm like, oh, look, here are some few goals that you can work on. And then I just send them flyers based on, the shooting star, how to get, thanks, Cindy, how to get certified and stuff like that, because I say to my team that I don't grow on my own. They are like my water. If I don't water them, my team won't grow. So I'm really proud to this day today. I've got 22 people under me. I went to SFR down in Gold Coast, and we're walking into that vision. I had no teamie. I went in as a slow goer, and today as a director, I have 22 people on my team. I'm one lady that I say that with building a team, you have those that you help and those that you love. Loving means I love everyone in my team, but those that you help is the ones that you know that are blossoming in your team. So I'll go and I'll help them and encourage them to keep going. Those that I love, I always reach out. I constantly reach out to my frontline. I don't give up on them. One of the girls would have given up. She would have been off this month, my first teamie, and God is so good. Today I started crying. I even wrote to Baba. She hit 500 PRV, and that's just from me reaching out to her every month. I didn't have to encourage her. I just said, oh, hey Lani, how you doing? Keep going. This time it's really hard for all of us, but just know that I feel you and you're all good. Lani today made 523 PRV. I was stoked. And one thing that I've learned in becoming director is my team and myself, we hustled like there was no pandemic at all. So I'm just blessed, and I just thank everyone. Cindy Young, especially being my idol into the Sensi world, and it's amazing that I get a message in my private message from her now, the lady that I was looking at, idolizing at the SFR. And Baba, and I believe if you are great sponsors, you can make your team grow. And I'm just so blessed that I had a really good mentor, Baba, that got me to where I am today, and my ride or die partner that got me as there as well. So those were just a few things that helped me with my journey to director. And just always believe in your passion. You know, if you're going to do something, have a passion to do it. But thank you very much, Cindy, for letting me share my story and a few of my little tips on how I got here. I'm very blessed and I'm honored, but thank you very much. And I'll pass it back to Cindy and Andrew. Thank you.
Thanks, Lola. There was a few things in there that I learned about your story that I didn't know about too. So, some touching bits, some goosebumpy bits, some teary bits. You've been through a lot, and it also shows you that what a strong woman you are to be able to just continue on with life and build, especially when you went through such a hard time losing your baby. I don't know how I would have gone through something like that. And so that in itself is inspiring. Does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask Lola while she's online? I'll look at the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask her or comment. Gonna take that as a no. Okay. So this is gonna be recorded. So I'm just gonna stop.